Truffle hunting encompasses so many of the things that dogs really enjoy, so many of their natural behaviours like running outdoors, sniffing, and dogs of course love digging. So your dog is really going to thank you if you teach it how to hunt for truffles, and also you'll have a great time. So the truffle training is divided into 3 sessions. The first one takes place indoors, the second is outside in an enclosed area, and then the final session is out in the field. You need to make sure that you've mastered each stage before you move on to the next one. So the first stage will take place in the house. You need to prepare a space indoors, and you're going to introduce the dog to that space. It should be a quiet place, it should be fairly clear with minimal distractions. Now, truffle oil contains chemicals which mimic the smell of a real truffle. You can buy truffle oil fairly cheaply, and it doesn't really matter which one, whether it's white or black oil. They all contain the chemical that you're training your dog to sniff for. We need a ball of cotton wool and some truffle oil. You only need 1 or 2 drops on the cotton wool. Then wrap the cotton wool up in the aluminium foil so you have a little ball like this. We put the foil on so the dog doesn't try to eat the ball and end up choking. Next thing you need is the snacks. Now, the dog isn't interested in truffles per se, the dog is going to be interested in the snack. Our job now is to get the dog to make the connection between this truffle smell and the snacks which are in this bag. It's a good idea to do this before you feed the dog. He or she will be more alert in this way and more keen, of course, to get the snack. The snack should be something that the dog really enjoys. I'm going to bring in Alan. Alan is our 5-month-old truffle dog. He has already learned these steps, but I'm just going to retrace them with you, and hopefully you can follow them through with your dog and watch this as many times as you need to. So in the first stage, we want the dog to make the connection between smelling the truffle and getting a reward. Every time he's sniffing the truffle, he's getting a snack. Once you've mastered the first stage and the dog has made the connection between smelling the truffle and getting the treat, then you can move on to the second stage. When the dog walks up to the truffle, this is when you're going to give him a treat. And just keep on doing that. Ah, voila. In the third and final stage, we're going to start hiding the truffle. Now we're going to hide the truffle under Alan's rug. Once you have mastered the first stage and the dog can find the truffles that you've hidden around the house, then you're ready to move on to stage 2. Now, by the end of stage 2, everything will have started coming together and your dog will be digging up truffles albeit mock truffles, from the ground outside. So we've got our snacks and our truffle balls and Alan, of course, and we're ready to start. So the dog is now outdoors with a whole range of competing aromas. We want to teach the dog to focus on the smell of the truffle. So let's talk about the location, the stipulations. Enclosed so that the dog's safe and can't run off. There need to be trees and soil because later on we're going to be burying truffles. And it should be convenient because you're probably going to be visiting this place on a daily basis for a week or more. Timing is very important. You need to think about a time when the dog is lively but not too excitable. Also, it should be a time before the dog has been fed. Make sure you don't substitute truffle training for your dog's daily exercise. And I'm going to see if Alan will walk over here and come and have a sniff. So we're making sure the dog's making the connection between the truffle smell and the snack. Now you need to repeat this. So we have the truffle ball there, you can probably just see it. Here comes Alan. Oh yeah, he's found it. Have a little sniff straight away. Let him smell it. Give him a snack. And a good stroke. Tell him he's a good boy. The truffle under the tree. Alan. There he is, straight on it. And he goes with a snack. See, it's really great if you've got like two people to do this. One person to distract the dog while you put the truffle down the ground. Now you may need to do this for 2-3 days. I've got the truffle on the ground. I'm just going to put a few things over it to start like hiding it. Just put a few things on top, and now let's see if Alan can find it. There he goes, listen to his nose, and he's got it. Great. So getting in there with a snack. Oh, there he goes, straight away, he's found it. Here Alan, come and get your snack. What are you doing? There he goes. And then we'll move on to the third and final part. So here we're preparing a hole where we're going to bury the truffle. Now we'll start off nice and easy. It should just be covered. Nothing too deep. Okay. And there, he's starting to dig. Now we're digging a deeper hole, and we're going to make it a little bit more difficult for Alan. Now, as the game progresses, the holes will get deeper, the ground will get firmer, and the coverings will become a little bit more compact, just to make it trickier for him. Now this could take a few days. Let's see if we can find this one. We should be able to. Let's have a little sniff around. Oh, there's a big little scent. Okay. Let's see, where is it, Anne? Come on. So you could be doing this to get the dog to dig. Come on. Die. So now we're digging a couple of holes. It's a good idea for the truffle balls to be in there for some time. This will give the scent a chance to rise, and so the dog can really smell it. So now when we leave the garden, we will bury some truffles and they will be there for tomorrow morning. Now if you have followed parts 1 and 2, then your dog is now able to find buried truffles. In this part, you'll be transferring the skills that you learnt in part 1 and part 2 out into the field. So get your boots on, grab your snacks and let's go and find some truffles. Come on now. Actually, before you put your boots on, you need to do some research first. Up till now in the training, the focus has been on the dog, but now it's your turn. You're training yourself to find truffle areas where you can take your dog. This is what you need to find out first. What truffles grow in your area and what time of year they grow in. Now, truffles are seasonal, with most species growing for 3-4 months a year, give or take. When you've established this information, then you need to research the species that you're going to hunt. The type of forests that truffles grow in and the conditions needed for growth vary from species to species, and they'll also vary from country to country. So when you're doing this research, you need to be specific to your own area. Let's take now as an example the end of March, the beginning of April in the south of Europe, and we're just starting the tuberostivum season. This is actually a very, very early specimen. We just stumbled across this quite by chance.
Bravo, vedi, bravo, bravo, bravo.
At this time of year, I need to research tuberostivum and I need to look specifically for information about my country, or at least the south of Europe. If I was in the north of Europe, the conditions would be completely different. Now, unless you're very lucky, people aren't going to actually tell you where to go and hunt for truffles. You've got to work this out for yourself, which makes the whole exercise quite exciting, but also rather challenging. Now, a lot of hunters will use deceitful means to get this type of information, but that's another story. If you're interested in learning about nature and in the actual hunting aspect, then you'll probably want to avoid these underhand ways. So what you will do is start investigating the following: the forests that the truffles grow in, the type of altitude, the soil type, the pH, and all these different growth factors which I'm listing here. The best places to look? Well, again, I can help you get started. Another good thing to do, however, is to network and to find people in your area who are a little bit further along in the game than you are, and they might give you some clues. Once you've learned something about the species that you're hunting, then you can begin the process of exploring. And this is where your dog training will come back into play again. You should have a list of potential spots that you've made from looking at maps, and you're going to go and visit them with your dog. Explore and take notes on what you find. When you're training your dog now, you're focusing on training your dog to look, to try to limit distracted behavior from your dog. While you're in this, like stage 3, you should keep on with stage 2 simultaneously. You should continue to bury truffles because it's probably going to take a while before you actually start finding the real thing. So some people will find them fairly quickly, for others it's a longer process. Be patient, focus on building up your relationship with your dog, focus on building up your knowledge about the truffle species you're looking for, and building up your understanding of the truffle areas. So this does take time, like with any new hobby. It's not something you're going to become expert at, over one weekend. If you're having any problems at this stage, there are plenty of videos on this channel which should be able to help you with any challenges you might come across. And if you have any questions, then you can leave them in the comments below. Right, and bye for now.